Ever felt like you were being played? These sneaky manipulation tactics are more common than you think, and they're being used to control you without your knowledge. Discover the dark truth behind these subtle mind games. Don't forget to subscribe for more shocking revelations. Silent manipulation. Silent manipulation is a tactic that seems harmless on the surface, but can be incredibly damaging. Imagine reaching out to someone, a friend, a partner, or a colleague, and they don't respond. You wait, checking your phone repeatedly, replaying past conversations, and wondering what you might have said wrong. The silence is deafening, and it's designed to be. This tactic is all about control. By withholding communication, the manipulator forces you to question yourself, your actions, and even your worth. It's a passive-aggressive move that shifts the focus away from them and onto you. You're left scrambling for answers, desperate to mend whatever imaginary wrong you might have committed. Why does this work? Because silence creates a void, and our brains are wired to fill that void with our own fears and insecurities. It's a psychological game that makes you chase the person, seeking validation and closure that they may never give. But here's the key. Silence doesn't always mean you're at fault. Sometimes it's a calculated move to keep you on edge, doubting yourself while they maintain the upper hand. The best response? Resist the urge to reach out again. Give them space, refocus your energy, and remind yourself that your worth isn't dependent on their acknowledgement. The illusion of choice. Manipulators are masters of creating false choices. On the surface, it seems like they're giving you options. But look closer. Those options are carefully crafted to lead you down a predetermined path. Picture this scenario. A friend asks, "Would you rather help me move on Saturday or Sunday?" The illusion here is that you're being given a choice. But in reality, you're being forced to help. The question is framed in a way that makes you feel like you're making a decision, but you're not. This tactic is designed to strip you of real autonomy while maintaining the appearance of control. It's a sneaky way to corner you into doing what they want without directly asking. You're too busy choosing between the two options to realize you could say no altogether. The solution? Recognize the false choice. Instead of choosing between the two presented options, take a step back and ask yourself, do I want to participate at all? When someone presents a choice that feels forced, remember, you're allowed to set your own terms or decline entirely. Third-party manipulation. Triangulation is a tactic where a manipulator brings a third person into the conflict, creating confusion and sowing seeds of distrust. Imagine this. A friend casually says, "Oh, by the way, Jessica thinks you're being really difficult lately." Now, you're left wondering, did Jessica really say that? Is she upset with you? Should you confront her? Meanwhile, the manipulator sits back, watching the chaos unfold. This tactic works because it shifts the conflict from them to the third party, effectively making you the bad guy, while they appear as the innocent messenger. Triangulation is a classic divide-and-conquer strategy. It's designed to isolate you, make you second-guess your relationships, and keep you too busy defending yourself to see what the manipulator is actually doing. What's the best way to handle this? Go straight to the source. Politely approach the person who is allegedly involved and ask them directly about the situation. This simple step can often expose the manipulator's intentions and bring the truth to light. The guilt trap. Guilt is a powerful emotion, and manipulators know exactly how to wield it to their advantage. Imagine someone saying, "I guess I'll just do all the work myself, even though I'm completely exhausted." Immediately, you feel the sting of guilt. You weren't planning to help, but now it feels like your fault that they're overworked and stressed. This is the guilt trap, a tactic that uses pity to force you into compliance without directly asking for help. Why does it work? Because most people don't want to feel like the bad guy. We don't want to come off as selfish, ungrateful, or unsupportive. Manipulators use this to their advantage, guilting you into doing things you never agreed to. But here's the reality. Just because someone is struggling doesn't mean it's your responsibility to fix it. The best response to emotional blackmail? Acknowledge their feelings without taking on their burdens. Say something like, "I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Is there something specific you'd like me to help with?" This puts the responsibility back on them to be clear and direct about their needs. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is perhaps the most insidious form of manipulation because it targets your sense of reality. Imagine confronting someone about a specific incident and they respond with, "That never happened. You're imagining things." Suddenly, you're questioning yourself. Did you misremember? Did you misinterpret? Gaslighting works by planting seeds of doubt in your mind, making you feel like you're losing your grip on reality. Over time, the manipulator's repeated denials can erode your confidence in your own perceptions, leaving you dependent on them for the truth. Why is gaslighting so effective? Because it's subtle and slow. The manipulator carefully crafts their responses to make you feel like the unreasonable one, even when you're completely justified. To counter gaslighting, keep records of conversations, texts, emails, notes. Having concrete evidence can be incredibly grounding when someone tries to twist the narrative. And remember, just because someone says something with confidence doesn't mean it's true. Sweet lies. Love bombing sounds harmless. After all, who doesn't want to be showered with affection? But when someone overwhelms you with praise, gifts, or attention only to later use it against you, it's not love, it's manipulation. Picture this. You meet someone who showers you with compliments, calls you amazing, and insists you're their best friend after just a few days. You're flattered, but it feels a little too intense. That's love bombing, a tactic to make you dependent on their approval. False generosity works in a similar way. Someone goes out of their way to help you, then later reminds you of their kindness to guilt you into doing something for them. It's a trap disguised as a gift, making you feel obligated to return the favor, even when the initial gesture was unsolicited. Recognize the signs. If someone's affection or generosity feels excessive or conditional, take a step back. Healthy relationships don't come with strings attached. Personal attacks. When all else fails, some manipulators will resort to personal attacks. Instead of addressing the issue, they'll attack your character. Statements like, "You're too sensitive," or "You always mess things up," are designed to put you on the defensive. By shifting the focus from the problem to you as a person, they effectively avoid taking responsibility. Now, instead of discussing their behavior, you're defending yourself against unfair accusations. What's the best way to handle this? Stay calm and redirect the conversation back to the original issue. Don't take the bait. Say something like, "Let's stick to the topic at hand. What specifically would you like to discuss?" This keeps the focus where it belongs, on their behavior, not on you. Emotional hijacking. Emotional hijacking is the final and perhaps the most explosive tactic. When someone erupts in anger, breaks down in tears, or dramatically storms out of a room, they're not just expressing themselves, they're manipulating the situation. Why is this tactic so effective? Because intense emotions are disarming. They force you to react, often making you feel responsible for calming them down or fixing the problem. The focus shifts from the actual conflict to managing their outburst, giving them the upper hand. The solution? Stay grounded, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that their emotions are not your responsibility. Set boundaries. If they're yelling, calmly say, "I'm happy to continue this conversation when we can both speak calmly." This puts the control back in your hands without escalating the conflict. Scarcity tactics. Scarcity is a classic manipulation tactic that preys on our fear of missing out. Imagine a salesperson saying, "This is the last one in stock," or a friend insisting, "Hey, if you don't decide now, it'll be gone forever." The underlying message: act quickly or you'll lose out. But here's the truth. Scarcity is often manufactured. The urgency is created to push you into making a hasty decision without thinking it through. It's a psychological trick that capitalizes on our natural instinct to avoid loss. When we believe something is in limited supply, our brain perceives it as more valuable than it actually is. Think about it. How many times have you seen "only 2 left" on a website, only to see the same message days later, or a countdown timer urging you to act now, when in reality the timer resets after every visit? Manipulators know that when you're under pressure, you're more likely to act on impulse rather than logic. But scarcity tactics aren't limited to sales. People can use them in relationships too. A partner might say, "If you don't make a decision now, I'm walking away," forcing you to act out of fear rather than genuine desire. The pressure is real, but the urgency is often exaggerated or even fabricated. So, how do you protect yourself from scarcity tactics? First, take a step back. Ask yourself if the urgency is real or just a ploy to make you feel pressured. Take a moment to evaluate the situation rationally. Is this truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, or just another manipulation tactic designed to rush you into compliance? And remember, real opportunities don't disappear overnight. If someone is genuinely offering something valuable, they won't need to pressure you into making a snap decision. Stay calm, stay grounded, and remind yourself that you have the right to take your time. because nothing worth having is ever that urgent. Have you experienced any of these tactics? Let's talk about it in the comments, and subscribe for more insights.